Live from the heart of Kansas City. We're here at the Sports Pub and Pizzeria in the All-American Sports Complex.
I'm Buck.
And I'm Bob.
And we're just two guys having fun, and we got some bad takes.
That's not it.
Close.
We're not fancy analysts, but we have just as many bad takes. It's a lot better.
Okay.
All right, so guys, we're gonna talk about the Browns game coming up here, and Steelers. Yep, my bad. It's Christmas. We talk about the Chiefs' schedule, but something we didn't contemplate when we were first talking about the Chiefs' schedule is how much it was going to be rough for us doing the podcast during Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I think about all the family stuff that the team has to do, and they're just not able to do because of all this prep, and it just it sucks. It really sucks, but the show's got to go on, so
it shall.
Yeah, we can't take it off. We chose to do this, so we must do it. And
it's
so
a labor of love.
We're here. We're going to talk a little bit about maybe something that was bugging us about the last week. And then we're going to talk all about Steelers and the Chiefs possibly locking up the number one seed in the AFC. Yeah.
The Christmas clash in the kingdom is what we're going to call it.
Yep. Is there anything about last week that's just been kind of eating at you or anything?
Oh, that third and fourth down. I haven't stopped thinking about it. That third and fourth down, that play calling was atrocious. And I think that's being mild. It was horrible play calling. I couldn't believe it when they did it on third down, but then to do the exact same thing again on fourth down, I just don't understand it, and that worries me going forward. If that was really what they thought was their best play option, unless they're building for some great, awesome, play action pass that they're going to do, but they didn't during the game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That worries me.
Yeah, that definitely worries me too. But I don't know. I've been thinking a little bit more happy because I found out that. Did you know that the Kansas City Chiefs had not had a 13-win season in the first 60 years of their existence? Now, this is before the merger to turn into the NFL, so this is still the AFL too. Mm-hmm. But the first 60 years, they did not have 13 wins in any season. And now we are sporting our third 14-win season in 5 years.
It could be a 16-win season. It very well could be. Although I don't expect that by any means, because if it becomes a 15-win season, then we're going to see all second and third string in that last game.
Wouldn't it be great if we just tore them up with those guys?
It would be awesome, but Denver's not going to play. They're not going to play their backups. It's going to be their full team on the field. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and most likely there'll be playoff implications for Denver in that game, too. So,
all right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. What?
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh, yeah. So everybody sees this bowl here. The smell is killing me. So this is 12 boiled eggs. And we were talking about Turk, Wharton, Tershawn Wharton. Turk's his nickname. And his pre-practice ritual is to eat 12 eggs, some, small waffle things, the little mini ones that are about 3 inches. So he doesn't eat just a dozen eggs, but I thought a dozen eggs was absurd. Buck here seems to think that he can do a dozen eggs. So
I'm a little insulted that you're even questioning that I can do this.
What we decided to do
we made a bet.
What did we even bet?
We didn't bet anything. We just friendly bet. Next time that you think you're right, I can be like, hey, remember that bet?
Even if I'm wrong? Which, speaking of, I got something to talk to you about Worthy.
Okay.
But Yeah, so he's going to try to eat these.
I am starving.
Do you want to try right? You want to get some of them down now, or do you think you could just do it?
I can do it while we're doing our thing. Doesn't have to be. It's gonna take me more than like 2 minutes to eat these, but I'm hungry, so I was ready to start.
All right. Well, don't chew too close to the mic, because that might make people grossed out. It'd be like,
Deal.
oh man, you're gonna slow down pretty hard. I can feel it.
Okay.
He said, okay. All right. Well, so what else? Okay, so I guess I'll go. So we had an argument on, or a
God.
debate last episode on the, what was it? Late second half, almost TD catch in the end zone from Worthy. Mm-hmm. And Mel and Buck both thought that I was wrong and that he got pushed out. There was no way he could get his foot down, and I stated that his right foot was down when he caught it. His left was on the way to the ground. Then he got pushed, and he lifted his left back up rather than dragging the toe. Mm-hmm. So Mel and I went back and watched it, and Mel watched it about 7 times, trying to find a way that I was wrong, and finally just said, nope, you were right.
She said you were right?
Yep.
Okay.
So did you watch it?
No.
Oh.
I haven't had time.
Oh, well, can you rewatch? Do you DVR the games? Mm-mm. Oh, see, YouTube DVRs them for me, so
That's going to be on YouTube. I'm sure I can find that clip.
Maybe. I'm not really positive how that works.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you for the positivity. She says she thinks I can do it. Heather's an old friend.
What are you
Younger than
on
me.
right now? 2?
No, this is like my third or fourth one. Third one.
Oh,
Yep.
boy. You got a little bit saved for later. That's cheating, Buck. It's cheating.
I'll get it.
Yeah. Lucky for you, I did screw up peeling a couple of them, so there's a couple chunks out of
Oh, okay.
a couple of
I
them.
thought you were going to say there's shell in here. That might stop this.
No. I did the whole thing where you put them in cold water right after, and then you peel them, and then right when I'm done peeling, I stick them back in the cold water, wash them off, and then dry them off with a paper towel. I tried to do you right. It's just I'm not the best peeler. I've got big monkey hands.
I've always said that.
Yeah, I don't know if you trust Mel, but his left foot was going down, and then he got pushed to the back, and I don't know if it was reactionary to save himself, but he lifted his foot back up to get his foot in front of him to catch him. And I got to thinking after that, well, maybe he's doing the right thing. Maybe saving himself from a possible injury is a better thing than getting one TD on the sideline. You know, and I was thinking after
that's a
Dell got
possibility,
hurt.
but for that thought to just like pop into your mind in that one split second, I think if that was it was more instinct.
I
to
think it
save
was
himself
instinct,
rather
yeah.
than him, debating on whether or not it's the right move.
But I'm just wondering, I'm thinking to myself, maybe that's the right move. I mean, maybe keeping your instincts to where you don't get hurt is the right way to do it rather than, because if he would have drug his toe, he would have taken a hard fall on his arms. Like, he wouldn't have had
Could have
anything to
dislocated
catch
a
him.
shoulder or an elbow.
I mean, yeah. And so I kind of got to thinking maybe that's a better thing. Maybe it's a better thing to just miss that play and still have the player. So that wasn't your point, though. But
I'm getting a lot of positivity over here.
oh, I'm watching the YouTube chat, which is quiet, guys.
Jason says, if anybody can do this, I know Buck can.
Buck used to, when we were younger, Buck had an appetite that was crazy.
Jason is aware of
And
that.
we'd always get something to eat, and I'd always have more than I could eat. I'd be like, Buck, you want it? And he would just clean it up.
Clean. I'm going to need more beer, though.
Oh,
I think she got busy.
she might. Let's hope she looks over here. But yeah, so that's all I really had from last game. So I don't know, man. The Chiefs have just been killing it. I mean, I think about it, and I've been hard on them, but I've been hard on them just because even if the Chiefs were winning 50-10, I would still have critiques that I want to change because no matter how good you are, the whole point is to always get better. If you think you're good enough in anything that you do in life, you've lost that game. And that's just the way that I feel. You can always learn more. You can always do better. I mean,
yeah, 100%. But it's weird, the way when I'm setting up the notes for these shows, a lot of times I'll put a lot of stats in there. They're not always the same stats. And I try, we try to read what we think is going to happen in the next game based on what we've seen so far. And I think that what we've seen so far is that that's not how the Chiefs do it. They win in just the most absurd ways sometimes, but they keep winning.
And their strengths and weaknesses just keep fluctuating.
Yeah.
So no team can really lock down. Like I remember when we took on the Saints, the key to this game, lock down Alvin Kamara, game over. But the Chiefs don't have anything like that. There's nothing you can really do to really lock them down. I mean,
there's
the
no
two
one
high
guy.
safeties helps against Mahomes, but I mean, really the only keeping Mahomes off of the field is probably the best advice for other teams, maybe, but you really can't do it.
But with this Chiefs defense, that's tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a top 10 defense. And the way they've played the last couple of weeks, you could argue top 5 defense.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And still,
it's
one of
because
the top.
Lamar threw off the stats and made us just top 10 instead of 5.
Yeah.
That damn
Lamar. And who was the other one? Got a lot of yards rushing on us. I forget.
The other quarterback?
Quarterback, yeah. I don't think there has been a running back. I don't think there's been a running back that's had 100 yards on us yet.
No, not one.
Yeah, so we're kind of killing it there. But, yeah, the Chiefs they've just been winning in an incredible way, and I just wanted to kind of put that out there because people will listen to me and think I'm negative, but I'm not. I'm happy about a lot of this stuff. It's just I always want it to be better, and that's the whole point of the us talking about it is to be better. I hear so many stupid comments and different things on our videos or other videos or our TikToks. The TikToks have the stupidest comments. I'll just say that.
I never, even when I'm watching videos on TikTok, I don't look at the comments.
It just goes to show you. But yeah, but so people say shut up. They're then they'll say their record. You have nothing to complain about. It's like, bro, I'm not complaining. I'm talking about how we can get better. And you saying that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So I don't know. I don't know why people
feed the
think
trolls.
And these people are probably never going to get better at what they do in life. They're never going to get better at their job. They're never going to change up their strategy. That's the type of person that says they don't need to do anything. They're 14-1.
Yeah. Well, I think most fans would agree that that's ludicrous. Anybody that's watched this team knows that there are things to work on.
Yeah,
always.
Dude, I see so many comments. It's unreal. But what are you at there? How's it looking?
Halfway done, baby.
Ooh, halfway.
Halfway.
Starting to feel it, aren't you?
I mean, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm taking these down.
Ooh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I know. Now I'm not going to order any food before I leave.
You can always have it for later. Although you probably won't even want to look at food after that. I don't even want to look at food after just smelling the eggs over here. I love deviled eggs, but boy, I can't. I hate the smell.
Even deviled eggs, you don't like the smell?
Oh, no. Boiled eggs. Sorry, boiled eggs. Oh. All right, so where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? You want to go key matchups or?
Yeah, I think we should go to the key matchups. There's a few different things to watch for on the Steelers team. T.J. Watt comes to mind, and that defense, that it can be a very stifling defense at times. The whole team has kind of been up and down, and I think they've lost 3 out of their last 5, but they just lost a heart-wrencher to the Ravens, and you know they're itching, and that's always been my thing with...
And the Ravens, man, they made them look bad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you know they're itching for a win. They're still fighting for playoff position within their division, so this game means a lot to them. Russell Wilson, I would never want him as my quarterback ever. Does he do things? Yeah, he does things, but it's sporadic. You know, he might have 4 games where he'll throw for 300 yards total over 4 games, and then he might do it in the first half of the 5th game. You know, you just don't know what you're going to get. So there's definitely skill there. There's something to be worried about offensively, and then defensively, T.J. Watt is like, he's all world. You know, he's amazing.
But you want to hear a funny story about Russell Wilson? Well, it's funny.
Did you meet him?
No. But it's funny but embarrassing for me. But, you know, I'm here to let people laugh at me and pretend to laugh with me. But so way back, gosh, what was it? It was, it was 2016 maybe. It was when the Steelers were really good. The Seahawks were really good. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson was on the team, and me and Mel got to go to a game. We got free tickets, but we were we were 3rd row on the right close to the 50-yard line. I mean, and we were on the opposing team's side. And we got there real early for that tailgate, and I had quite a few beers, shots. I did have a steak too, but mostly beers and shots during tailgate. And by the time we were walking in, I couldn't see straight. So I got real belligerent and yelly, right? I was yelling all kinds of crap. And we're about halfway through the game, and Russell Wilson's looking right at me, and I just go, "You suck, Russell Crowe!"
Did you say Russell Crowe on purpose?
I know. I was just thinking about Russell Crowe because he told me that I was a dumb twit back when I did meet. Well, when I was on the phone with Russell Crowe when I worked in Hollywood.
Oh,
but for some reason
it called you a dumb twit.
Yeah, he called me an effing twit with the whole word.
Wow.
Yeah, because I asked him to repeat his name. He was all.
He said my name was Russell Crowe, and you said, "I'm sorry, can you repeat that?"
No, he said he called up and he was like, I was like, "Excuse me, did you say Russell Crowe?" And he goes, "Russell Crowe, you effing twit." And I was like, "Russell Crowe on 2.
Oops.
Yeah, he was calling for
He'll
the
call
guy
right back.
who I worked for, Akiva Goldsman. But so yeah, he was not a nice guy. But so I yelled that, and the whole team turns around and looks at me, and I met Russell Wilson.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the whole team just starts laughing, and I was like, all right, well, at least they thought it was funny. But I was quiet from that point on.
I love you, Russell Crowe.
It was bad, but yeah. So that's my Russell Wilson story. Is that I tried to say he sucked and told him Russell Crowe sucked. The whole team turned it around and cracked me up because usually they just tone the fans out, right? Mm-hmm. People have been yelling crap at them the entire game.
Hey, I want to say real quick for the record.
They were like, "Is Russell Crowe here?"
Not off subject completely, but eggs and beer, bad combination. They're not mixing well in my stomach. Woo!
He's slowing down, guys.
Yeah.
He's got 4.5 left. 4.5 left.
I got this.
I told him it'd be tough. I told him.
It's because the beer. It's the beer. I should have. Milk was a bad choice.
Oh man, yeah. T.J. Watt. I love the Watt brothers.
Yes.
It's just a cool story, and I got nothing bad to say about the Steelers organization. I wish I did.
And Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin's awesome.
He is one of the best coaches to coach in the game. I mean, how lucky is that organization to go from? I can't even remember his name now. How disrespectful is that? One of the greatest coaches.
He's on TV all the time. Oh gosh.
I can't believe this.
Oh,
But that's how long Mike Tomlin has been the coach. You know, he replaced him.
Yep.
And he came in, and he's who thinks that that's going to happen?
somebody in chat, help us out, man.
Oh yeah, killing me here.
Legendary Steelers.
Legendary.
God.
And he's a legendary personality on the shows
Oh,
too.
it's killing me that
Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher, thanks
Thanks, Brandon.
Oh, thank you. All right,
He won't be on the show, but he will help us from the sidelines.
Oh, so yeah. So the only thing that bugs me about Mike Tomlin is the fact that he gets nominated for Coach of the Year every year, and Andy Reid never does, and I don't get that. I don't. I think Andy Reid's actually a better coach.
The problem is Andy Reid gets a lot of slight because he's got what is considered to be one of the greatest of all time quarterbacking. So it's almost like they think that any coach could take Patrick Mahomes and win 3 Super Bowls. And I think most Kansas City Chiefs fans recognize fully that this is not we couldn't see the product that we see on the field without both of those ingredients. They're both so important to the success of this team.
Yeah, and I would make the argument that Mahomes would not be a household name right
It's quite
now if he
possible.
went to any other team.
He could have got ruined.
He could have got ruined getting started the first year. People not knowing how to use him. I mean, there's a ton. Him not getting to study behind Alex Smith, which he even talks about was one of the biggest things for his career ever. I mean, Mahomes might be average at best, and lots of coaches would complain night and day about the way he throws the ball. I mean, they would bench him for that. So
Yeah, they would.
yeah, so I would make the case that Mahomes would not be the player that we see today if it wasn't for Andy Reid.
Yeah. Now, one glowing spot that could be in the Chiefs' favor. Now, this is as of last night. I haven't had a chance to look at the injury list today, but they've got their 2 starting corners and one of their starting safeties is listed on the injury list. Doesn't mean that they're not going to play, but there's something to be taken advantage of out there. Hopefully that works in our favor a little bit.
Yeah. I think we also have some injuries. Chris Jones is injured. I don't know if he's going to play. It's day to day. And, we want him healthy for the playoffs, so it's very possible he won't play.
Speaking of injuries, DJ Humphries, there's been some talk whether he's going to play on Wednesday. I think I heard somebody say something like Coach Reid said that if the game was on Sunday that Humphries would definitely be good to go, but for Wednesday we're still not sure. They were talking about this on the radio today, and I was thinking about it before I even listened to them, but I'm kind of glad they did. Even if Humphries is ready to go on Wednesday, I think that Tooney and Caliendo have a good thing going, and I think I'd rather watch that play out through the rest of the season.
Do you think so? I've
really
been thinking
do.
about that. I'm not sure, but
well, we know
it's
what we're
been
going to
good.
get.
It's been good.
What if Caliendo and Tooney do not get any better, and they stay the same level of play that we've seen? That's good enough for me. We don't know what we're going to get with Humphries. Humphries has only had a portion of one game to play with this line. He's definitely not 100% in tune with the playbook. And Tooney is not a new player. He's just moving over. He knows the playbook. He knows what the guy next to him is supposed to be doing at all times. And Caliendo, you know how many times they said his name during the game? Once. When they were talking about how they were switching around the line at the beginning of the game. There were no penalties. He didn't have any big glowing mess-ups, anything that was obvious.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think I'm 99% sold on. I think I'd rather see that. No slight to Humphreys. This is not one of those things like I'm kind of feeling about Pacheco right now. It's not about Humphreys. It's about the product that we've seen on the field, and we know how bad it can get. And I know where this team is right now, and even if there's no more progress, I'm good with that. But there's going to be progress too. So I say we play out the season with Tooney and Caliendo.
The line was doing so good that the broadcasters completely forgot to mention that Sean Smith got injured and that Wanye Morris was in for him. I just noticed Wanye was in and then looked to see when Juwan Taylor got injured. I was just, huh?
I had no idea until we talked about it afterwards.
Yeah. The announcers didn't say it. Nobody said anything. It was the weirdest thing. But, yeah, I'm kind of siding with you. I want to be like a devil's advocate, but I can't think of a good reason to be a devil's advocate. It's just that Tooney is a really small for a left tackle. But, I mean, if he could stop
Myles Garrett?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If he can stop Myles Garrett, I mean.
And it's not if he can. He did.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, then he can stop
He probably
anybody.
did better against Myles Garrett in his unnatural position than most offensive linemen so far this season playing in their natural position.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I just hope he doesn't want left tackle money after this year.
No. I mean, he knows. He knows he's not big enough. All the big brain analysts talk about he's just not big enough. His wingspan isn't long enough. He doesn't have enough lead in the ass is what the offensive lineman coaches like to say.
They always checking out the butts.
Yeah, he's
always checking out the butts.
He just doesn't have enough dead weight in him, which makes him a phenomenal guard.
Yeah, I just don't know.
He's even kind of small for a guard.
Yeah, I know.
But you can't argue with the success.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. If he's, I guess he's just poking him in the eye. Oh, man.
I've watched that replay probably 25 times. Still don't see anything. But I do see Tooney, like, seriously, I'm so sorry. And after the game, he said he was sorry. So Tooney knows something happened. So if he's willing to just openly apologize, and you got to admit something happened. Maybe he brushed his eye. I don't know.
No.
But if you're afraid, even if for a split second you think that you might be losing your eye, I'd completely freak out like that too, man.
Oh, God, man. He'd freak
Absolutely.
out. Whew. It made me just uncomfortable just watching that.
So I didn't see it, but I'm not going to say that he wasn't in pain because you just don't know.
Yep. Yeah, so if we win this game, we're
done.
Yeah, we're done. And the Bills almost. I mean, they were flirting with defeat going up against the Patriots. Everybody asked me, I kept telling everybody that, it's possible they could lose to the Patriots. And they're like, yeah, right. And I'm like, dude, it happens all the time at the end of the year.
Did you watch any of that game?
Spoiler. Yeah.
I watched the first, until the Bills took a lead. I was watching until the Bills took a lead. And then by the time, and it was clear by the play on the field, the Bills are definitely a better team. All the individual parts of the Bills are all better than the individual parts of the Patriots.
Yep.
But something was happening in the first, quarter and a half that the Patriots were just dominating. And it was so much fun to watch the Bills on the sideline like, this doesn't make sense. Like, what is going on? And then they got the lead, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to waste any more time watching this. It's going to be a rout, and deservedly so. I mean, the Bills are a fantastic team. But then I saw the score at the end of the game, and I was like, oh, maybe I should have watched that. It was pretty close. I think was it a 3-point game? I think
I forget what they actually won by, but it was real close.
It wasn't a barn burner.
It was real close. The Patriots made so many mistakes, but I mean, it was real close, and it was neat to see that, and kind of root for that. I would have loved to have been able to sit starters for the next 2 weeks.
Games, yeah.
I mean, we could have them play a little bit, to keep them warm, keep them.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that rhythm.
I don't like fully sitting players ever. In the last week or two of the playoffs, I'm never a fan of that. But half rest, I'm cool with that. So it would have been neat to see that. But
Yep.
but yeah, I feel like we're gonna beat the Steelers.
I mean, I hope so. Najee Harris, he's had a pretty decent season. And I know that our rushing defense has been great, but the Steelers have a way of pounding the ball at times. I know that we talked a few minutes ago about how we haven't let up a 100-yard rusher, but that's what these guys are wanting. So their offensive line is fairly formidable. Without Chris Jones,
I'm scared.
It could happen. It could definitely happen.
I don't even know what our line looks like without Chris Jones.
I don't either.
Which is so scary to me. Do we get any pressure at all, or do we come out and just go nuts? I don't even know. I mean,
what do you mean go nuts?
just do better.
Take over, do better without Chris Jones?
Would that be crazy?
Yeah, that'd be absolutely. Insane.
Turk has been looking good. Tershawn Wharton, he's been looking really good this year, and he's got a lot of lead in the trunk.
So he looks. Yeah, but that's not what you want on a defensive lineman. You
really?
want that. Yeah, you want that on an offensive lineman, so they can keep the forces from coming in.
Yeah, but
defensive lineman, you want thrust and.
Yeah, that's what your butt does. It thrusts?
No, the lead in the ass. What they mean is they want them to stand like a wall and be unmovable.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just them having a big ass.
No,
because that's what Jason Kelsey talks about. All the coaches are always talking about. Yeah, but his butt's too small, type of deal. Gotcha. Okay, I misunderstood, but yeah.
But no, yeah, he is a big boy.
He eats 12 eggs.
I just don't think that he's got it in him to be a dominant player when he's the player, when Chris Jones is gone. I think what we've seen as far as Wharton is concerned in his successes, it's Chris Jones and Karlaftis have been kind of taking that attention away from the offensive lines.
Yeah.
And so Tershawn has had some single coverage to get past. So when Chris is gone, what does that look like? We don't really know. We haven't had to see this defense without Chris Jones for a while.
Karlaftis is such an interesting player, such a good run stopper, an okay pass rusher, but usually his sacks traditionally over his career, if you look at them all, the majority of them are coverage sacks. He's getting to him because his engine just never goes out. But I'm pretty sure he's leading the league this year in batted passes. I think he's leading the league for batted passes from defensive line. Somebody fact check me on that, but I think that's true. Yeah, anybody in chat, if you could, it'd be
I don't
awesome.
even notice. I don't know that I've seen him tip a bunch of balls. I'm definitely not going to argue with you on this one because I just don't know. But yeah, that'd be a fun stat.
Yeah,
especially since J.J. Watt was his thing. We're going up against his brother.
Yeah, just to throw this in here, in YouTube chat, Jason Shears said Bills Patriots is like Chiefs Raiders, and that's totally true. I remember when the Patriots traded. One of the best safeties of all time. I met him at the last draft that was in Kansas City, not the last draft, but the draft before. Lawyer Malloy. He thought I looked familiar. It was interesting. Boy, I wish I had the podcast then. I would have given him a card and everything.
No kidding.
But, so they traded Lawyer Malloy, and I remember the Bills beat them that first game of the season, and we're like, what? And that's just, and the Patriots were dominant that year. I think they won the Super Bowl still that year. So there's always spoiler in those interdivisions hatred rivalries.
And that's how the Broncos are going to come in the last week of the season.
What we were on? Oh, we were on the line. Yeah, I'm very concerned what it's going to look like without Chris Jones. But Chris Jones didn't start out Chris Jones. I mean, Chris Jones started out, not being dominant.
I'm just trying to remember back because you say he wasn't dominant, but if you're looking at stats, he doesn't look dominant this season either, but he is.
True.
He's all up in there. I remember him.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting double teamed in his rookie and second year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there wasn't a ton of tape on him. And I don't remember him being that much of a thing. I mean, wasn't Tamba with us when he first came to the team?
That's hard to believe when we saw a couple of weeks ago when Tamba came out to beat the drum and he looked like he was 73 years old. I was just like, oh, boy.
Yeah, that's
post-football life has been rough on poor Tamba.
It's not, though. He's in incredible shape. He does all kinds of martial arts stuff and everything.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I've watched a few different things on him.
One of my favorite Chiefs.
He did look old right there, but I saw him in just a recent bio about his jiu-jitsu stuff, and he looked completely different. So, but I mean, Chris Jones, you got to remember, Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, and I forget the other guy, are the only ones that have been with the Chiefs for the entire 9 AFC championship runs or whatever.
Oh, the 9 seasons in a row winning the AFC West? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah. I forget who the third person is, but it's not even Mahomes.
No.
So.
Couldn't be Mahomes.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I think Tamba was on the team. And I don't remember exactly. But either way, Jones didn't become a household name until about halfway through his career. I mean, he didn't get the big money after his rookie deal. So I didn't follow the game as well. Yeah. And I definitely didn't pay attention to defensive tackles. I paid attention to the flashy defensive ends, as most fans do. Mm-hmm. And some fans don't even pay attention to the defense at all. That's when they go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going to the bathroom on defense. I get it.
It's all Madden players, but yeah, I think Turk. I'm feeling good about him becoming something special.
Maybe. How long has he been in the league? I don't even know.
I think this is oh gosh, I don't know either. I think this is second year, maybe.
Wow.
Second or third?
He looks older than that, but if he's really that young, then maybe you're right. He could be a promising starter.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm not wrong here.
And then who's coming in for Jones is another question.
26 years old. Stats. Oh gosh, yeah, he's a lot older than I thought he was. Started with the Chiefs in 2020.
That's still young.
Yeah, he's in his fifth year, so he's doing better. But yeah, maybe not. I was thinking it was his second or third year. But that's how much he wasn't talked about in those other years, I guess. So, yeah, but I mean, definite improvement as he's gone on, Like, he was a 2-sack-a-year guy until 2024, and then, 2024 he got 5.5, and he's at 5.5. Yeah, he's at 5.5 now. So this is his breakout year.
We got a new old friend watching us right now.
Who's that?
From Herf Days, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. What's going on, Jackie? How you doing?
Watching.
Thanks for dropping in.
So I looked to see who was who's backing up Chris Jones, and I don't think you're going to hate the name, Mike Pennell.
Oh,
He's done some things.
okay, yeah,
Now I feel a little bit better.
yeah. I still don't feel good though. I feel
I
like
mean, it's Chris Jones. He's a Hall of Famer.
yeah, we play man coverage. We need. I mean, you need it in zone coverage too, but you really need it in man, especially when we're down a corner. You know, I mean, we're still down a corner without Watson in. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. I mean, so we're gonna need pressure. I don't know if Spags is planning to run some more blitzes or what, but
I'm going to be honest. I'm not all that worried if Chris Jones doesn't play this week. I definitely don't expect to see the defense that we've seen the last few weeks, but I don't think the step off is going to be so big that we have to really worry. Ah, man. Russell Wilson. Damn it.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Thank you.
I'm fine with Chris Jones just sitting and being healthy just in case we need him for the Denver game. I'd almost, I'm going to say, unpopular opinion, I'd almost rather lose the Steelers and then come out and just embarrass the Broncos. But that would be poor planning. That would be poor decision making.
We'd have to play all the
I'm
starters.
Thinking from my heart and how much I hate the Donkeys.
Dirty
So,
donkeys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mike Pennell, he's definitely a serviceable backup for Chris Jones. So
Yeah, serviceable being the key word, though.
serviceable is good.
That's the only thing that I'm, really worried about. The rest of it, I feel good, man. I feel, dude, Hollywood came in like he's been playing all season.
Yeah, like he's been in there every snap. Has he been on the sidelines this whole time?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if he suited up for every game, but he talked about it when he came back. He said they talked about how, they asked him how much it hurt, for him to get hurt, and how did that mess with his head and everything. And he said, well, the best part is that I've just been able to be at team meetings. I've been able to be at practice. I've been able to really feel like I'm still part of the team. And that's been huge for him. So
I'll bet.
he's
I don't even
been,
know why I'm trying this.
you're throwing in the towel,
I
huh?
have to, man. The beer and the eggs.
I
is a
told you,
horrible-
dude.
No, it's because of the beer.
Okay, no, dude, no, there's no, that you can't eat the dozen eggs. I told you it'd be too much. You got through a good amount, though.
I could do it. I just don't want to throw up on stream.
Yeah, well,
And I
that's the
might
whole
with the
point.
beer.
I
And-
told you that was the whole thing. You'd have to do it without throwing up, because I said, dude, you throw up, and you're like, no, I wouldn't.
If I wasn't drinking beer, Bob, we'll do this challenge again sometime without beer.
Well, at least I'll have
I'm gonna take these
some.
for lunch tomorrow, though.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
We can't have my thing.
Okay.
This is my Tupperware. Yeah. So that's all. That's really all. That I really have for, as far as what I'm excited about is Hollywood is just. What's crazy is he's known as a deep threat, but he can go deep at all.
I don't think
I
he's
feel
known
like-
as a deep threat.
Oh yeah.
I know they talk about that.
Back on the Cardinals. Oh man, he was definitely a deep threat.
Only because he can go up and get it. I mean, it's not like he wasn't the speed burner guy.
No, but I think he's definitely the second quickest man on the team now. If we're just talking about wideouts, yeah, I'm almost positive he's the second fastest.
Wait,
You guys should find us
Wait,
40
wait.
times.
are we talking about D-Hop? Are we talking about Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Did I say D-Hop?
I don't know.
I hope I didn't. I hope I said
don't
Hollywood.
Know. I don't know. I don't know why I had it in my
Hollywood,
head.
always up to no
I'm
good.
like, D-Hop is not. Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, no, Hollywood is a fast guy.
People are wrong about D-Hop. I heard so many people
Yeah.
like talking heads on ESPN and shit. They're like, yeah, he's gonna spread the field for him. I'm like, dude, okay, he's never. Have you ever played fantasy? He's never been a burner downfield.
No, he's not a burner, but I get the point because he's not afraid to go downfield, and even if he's single or double covered, he's always reliable to at least knock the ball down if he's not going to catch it, and he comes up with a good share of them. So that, I mean, he still is spreading the field when he's doing that.
Well,
so technically,
when I hear stretching the field,
you're
I think of somebody who's
worthy,
going to outrun
Tyreek Hill,
people in the back and make it so they have to stretch before the play starts.
And
they can't get up on you. You know what I mean?
Really, it's just letting the defense know that somebody's willing to go out deep. And they have to honor that, and that's stretching the field, even when they're not running downfield.
They'll even safeties will even line up further back, which opens up the quick, the quick passes even more, and opens up running even more. So, but yeah, Hollywood. I hope I said Hollywood, but I could have said Hopkins, but I think I said Hollywood. But either way. We haven't even seen his deep ball yet, and I'm pretty sure he's the second quickest receiver we have now.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably question whether he's faster than Mecole. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean,
it'd be interesting to see their 40 time.
I mean, honestly, if Mecole's just a touch faster, or if Hollywood's just a touch faster, I don't care. I love having both of those guys out on the field, but I don't.
Hollywood's definitely a better receiver than Mecole, though. I'll go as far to say that.
Yeah. I mean, he is
like night and day different. I mean, Mecole's been great for us. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves, but he still never turned into what I thought he might have been when we first had him.
Sean said hi.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
All right. What else you got here?
I mean, the playoff picture, we've kind of touched on that already. Predictions? Score predictions?
Oh.
We don't do that enough.
Yeah. It's just because
it's hard.
and
we don't keep track.
And I think it's dumb. I mean, I could get the Vegas spread, if you're thinking by 3, but predicting the actual score just seems silly to me, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
I'll go 27, 21.
See, I think the Steelers are probably going to score a couple touchdowns and a couple of field goals, so they're probably on the 20-point side, and I'm hoping to get to 30, 31. Thank you very much. I'm hoping to get to 31 points, which would make it a comfortable game to watch in the third and fourth quarter if it's a 10-point game. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say 31-20.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I've just learned to not bet on the two-score games for the two-score wins.
I'm not betting on anything. This is me just throwing out numbers. Yep. It's more what I want to see. 31-20.
Although I was relaxed the entire second half of last week's game. I mean,
relaxed is a bit.
The feeling came back. That feeling that
the Chiefs can win this.
That we're just going to win.
Yeah.
And it used to be that I had that feeling in the back of my mind, but it was always Patrick Mahomes, and I was just like, Pat's gonna bring us back. That's just what's gonna happen. But I'm happy to say that it's the team now that's got me like that. I'm just like, the team's gonna do it, and that's a huge compliment to the team.
The
and
defense is gonna step up when they need to,
and other players are gonna step up, and I'm proud of our whole organization, and I'm glad that the team's getting some accolades now and some attention, instead of everybody saying it's all Pat. So
yeah, absolutely.
I feel good about that.
It's definitely not been all Pat. He's still, even though his stats aren't up there, he's still, a key to this team.
Oh God, yeah.
Just the way that he carries himself, the way that he takes losses, he takes blame for things that had nothing to do for him, and he takes that and he puts that on his shoulders. And when you're a leader of a team or a leader of anything, honestly, that's the kind of leader that that everybody wants to go and work for
Oh, yeah.
and go play with.
But I mean, the way I thought of Patrick, before was if we're losing and our receivers can't catch the ball, he's just going to throw it and just stick the ball inside, between their, the top of their helmet and the grill of their face mask. That's how much he's gonna Superman it. But I don't have to worry about that now. I just feel like the team is solid, and that wasn't the way the team was, back when Pat first was the quarterback. I mean,
I'll tell you, the
D was rough.
The one thing that I really, really don't want to see out of this game is a close game in the fourth quarter. Maybe even the Chiefs are behind, and Patrick starts to do some of that scrambling around. He's got to try and make something happen, and that's when the ankles get hurt. If it's a close game at the end, that's what I'm really worried about. Is Patrick trying to do a whole bunch, and that could blow the rest of the season.
Well, what he said. He said, I wasn't worried about running. I was worried about stopping, because that's what hurts.
Yeah.
So when I went in for the touchdown, I just decided to jump and just land and save my ankles. So he literally used
that touchdown that he scored this last game?
Yeah, that he ran in. He was like, I just decided to jump through them and use them as a landing. So he used them as a cushion to land on.
That's not what it looked like he did. It looked like he hit stick the guy. Like he dropped his shoulder into the guy.
Yeah, and jumped.
Just to avoid hurting his ankle.
Yes, it just didn't come down on his ankle. I thought that was hilarious.
He jumped up. Please catch me.
He's like, Superman. But
he really is.
Yeah, Josh Uche. Inactive.
He was inactive for the last game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. So
that's sad because he's got potential. It just doesn't seem to fit with the Chiefs' needs at all.
What I think's happening is Veach is like, hey, dude, I'm just going to bring him in, and you just see if you can use him. If you can't, he's on a vet min deal. We can always just, put him to the practice squad. But you do that with too many players, and the word's going to get around that Veach drops people quickly, for the next best thing, and that could also bite you in the butt later on down the road too. Absolutely. So I hope that's not really what's happening, but it's interesting to say the least. I think
he's hit enough on those deals though, because Uche is the one guy that I think that he reached out and got that just isn't working out. But I think most of the other deals are. I mean, look at DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to help us win a third Super Bowl in a row. So I don't think I understand what you're saying. You don't want to do that a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to bring people in like Uche, play him for 2 games, and then don't give him any more opportunities. But he did know that Charles Omenihu was coming back, but still, it's just kind of sucky for him where he could have still got play time someplace else. I'm sure. Maybe in a 3-4 defense where he's actually supposed to be. So many people I don't think understand.
We talked about that before?
We have. I've explained the difference
several
between
times.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that don't get that. They don't understand the difference between a 3-4 and a 4-3 defense. And they're very different. I mean, we're talking night and day. And you have a whole different linebacker and defensive end and defensive tackle setup for those teams. So it was really weird that Uche came over. I was hoping that maybe he played D end, in college or something. It was converted to a 3-4.
Doesn't look like it.
Linebacker, but yeah. I mean, the fact that he never got into the 3-point stance was pretty telling. Coach, I'll just know how to stand up, man.
So what do you think? What's next for the Chiefs as they close out the regular season?
Yep. And we just hope for no injuries. Is what we hope for. That's really Hollywood. I'm so excited about Hollywood.
I'm really hoping that the Chiefs kind of explode because that's my memory of last year. Is it was such a rocky season until the playoffs, and then they just. it seemed like they didn't even go to the next gear. It seemed like they went from like third gear to fifth gear and just turned it on, and it was almost like we were watching the 2019 Chiefs.
It was
in
nuts.
the playoffs.
It was like a couple games leading into the playoffs too, wasn't it?
I don't remember that, but I wasn't paying as close attention as I am now. We hadn't started the podcast yet, so my memory on that's a little bit hazy. But that's what, and that has been what we've seen the last couple of games is kind of picking it up a little bit.
You know what's sad? You know who we didn't mention this entire podcast?
Who?
Kelsey.
Kelsey is, man.
Yeah.
He's dependable, but he's
dependable, but boy,
I
man,
think
he
he's-
goes down like a sack of potatoes.
He does. But he's still going to catch it, and he still knows where to be so that he can catch it in the right place. He hasn't lost anything up here, so he still knows how to play the game and how to be advantageous to Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think we're going to see at least another season out of him.
It just depends if Taylor lets it play. I mean, honestly, dude, I think he's gearing up to get married. I mean, dude, there's so many reports of people saying, off the record that he showed up to camp fat and out of shape, and there's a lot of people saying that.
I didn't say it.
He looks slow, and yeah, I know they make excuses and say he opens up this and that and blah blah blah, but I see him catch the ball and fall down like a lump.
Yeah, he doesn't break tackles anymore. He doesn't. He still falls forward. He still catches the ball. Oh man, I can't imagine a Chiefs team without one of the greatest tight ends. That's what we've had for the last 20 years. We've had one of the greatest tight ends for the last 20 years.
I feel like he needs to take
Is Noah Gray
a
ready
pay
for that?
cut. I feel like he needs to take a pay cut, man. I mean, I feel like that's something that older players really should embrace and just take a pay cut from the same team. Like, you're not what you used to be. Sorry, bro. And wouldn't you like to stay here, keep your life intact? I mean, I think that's something a lot of older players really need to start to think about. And lots of them do, but superstars oftentimes don't.
Yeah.
They often opt to just leave, and I don't know. Also, I don't know. I did see him mic'd up. It was cool to see him. He seemed like he was still the same Kelsey, but boy, Mel was right about the media just choosing, like the game media just choosing what they want to show you. Because once again, the only shots I saw of Mahomes and Kelsey all game last game was them sitting there staring off into space. Yeah. And then I watched the Kelsey mic'd up, and he's going nuts. He's talking to his teammates. He's excited. He's, I'm just like, dude, do your job, broadcast team.
Man, I wish I could find this real quick because I actually made a note when I was watching the last game about something that I saw with Kelsey.
Okay.
And I don't think it's here, but there's a chance it might. Holy crap, it is here. Oh, let me find it real quick. Kelsey.
Well.
Oh, it's going to take me a second. It was a play. It was a defensive play that was crazy awesome, and Kelsey came out onto the field to like high five the dude, and like it was. I wish I could find it real quick.
Well, that's what he did all through his mic'd up thing, but it seems like. That's what the broadcast teams of these games used to show us.
Right.
And now they're just showing us them staring
Kelsey
into space.
board, right.
And that's probably only like a little fraction of the time on the sideline, which pisses me off.
But that's my point, is they weren't showing Kelsey and his emotions. They were showing the defensive guy, and they were focusing on him as he's walking off the field, and then comes Kelsey walking in. Like, it wasn't a Kelsey shot, it was that guy's shot. And he wasn't just coming in to like give the guy a high five. He was like, yeah, man, I wish I could.
Yeah, he was said the mic'd up one I saw was the game before, but he was definitely revved up, and I just wish they would show that more on the broadcast team, but I feel like everybody hates on the Chiefs, and it just really sucks. I mean, we are pretty much the most popular team now. America's team. Thank you very much. Not the Lions.
Oh, we're
Jesus.
definitely America's team.
Yeah, dude. The
At
Lions. That cracked me up when I first heard that. I was like, huh? The Lions? Are you talking about the Lions? I mean, I could have understood Dallas, but the Lions? You're talking about playoffs? Yeah, the Lions were the last team in the world I ever thought would be considered America's team.
Oh, it was. We saw Kelsey out there when Jones got hurt, giving the spirit and love that we haven't seen on camera. That's what it was. Jones got hurt, and then when he was able to get up and walk off the field, and Kelsey came out, and he was showing that stuff that we haven't seen on camera all year.
Yeah.
Part of me, there's the aluminum hat theory guy, right, that says the NFL wants to downplay and bring the Chiefs down to a more level playing field with the rest of the NFL. They don't want a 16-1 team. They want parity. That's what they want. And so showing that almost, I don't know. It doesn't help the play on the field, but it kind of shows fans something. I don't know. It almost kind of feels like a conspiracy. They don't want to show all that fire and drive that we're used to seeing the first few years of the Mahomes era.
Yeah, I mean, but
I think it
Mahomes
still
is on
exists.
every billboard, on everything. If he wasn't popular, then they wouldn't do that. It's just the loud hater minority. It's literally the vocal minority that's just hates on Mahomes. I mean, if you hate on him, you haven't been paying attention, and yeah,
I don't know how you can hate these guys. I really don't.
Yeah,
Unless you're
I
a
don't
Raiders
either.
or Broncos fan. I just don't understand the hate.
Yeah, and all of you people that are talking about we've won too much, well, dude, we're one of the founding teams. We're also one of the most storied teams as far the freaking AFC champion trophies named after our owner, and so
And we hadn't won
shut
it
up.
until, what, 2019?
Yeah. The reason you hadn't heard of us is because we sucked forever. So you could suck it now that we're good, and I'm sorry, not sorry.
No, I'm not sorry at all.
Yeah.
No. It's a great time to be a Chiefs fan.
Heck yeah.
Not
Heck
a bad
yeah.
time to be a Lions fan.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the Lions.
But I'd rather be a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I don't hate the Lions. I just crack up when people say things like they're the new America's team. I'm like, okay, all right.
Well, they're the team that everybody wants to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah,
In the Super Bowl.
I'm not really a fan of their coach. I know a lot of people are, but I'm not.
Really?
Oh yeah, no.
Like
He's-
an anti-fan almost? Like
Yeah.
you dislike him?
Yeah, kind of.
What has he done?
But I don't really dislike the team.
Because all I,
He
like
comes off to me like that asshole jock. You know, you knew him in high school.
I know exactly what you're saying.
He comes off like that prick. Ooh, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry, guys.
You've said worse. I don't know. He comes off as the coach of a team that loves him. He's a rah-rah guy. He's in great shape. I mean, he's definitely played ball before. You can definitely tell by his physique. He's not like an Andy Reid that hasn't played since junior high.
Yeah, I'll give a shit if a coach has ever played ball. I actually,
No, I don't see that attitude from him.
what's that show that's got LaShawn McCoy on it?
I have no idea.
It's the show that LaShawn McCoy's on, and also, what's his name?
Shady.
The quarterback Chase Daniels from
Missouri.
Mizzou, who also was a Chief at one point. I watched that show, and they tote themselves. They actually advertise. We're actual players, you know. We played the game, so we know it better than like it's in. I forget how they say it, but it's in their intro and stuff. There's like we know more than everybody else because we actually played the game, and I beg to differ. I mean, I've said it before. Most of the people in the NFL are not that bright. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
it's just the
and
truth.
most of the big brains in the NFL aren't former players.
Yeah.
Former players don't usually go on to be successful coaches. That's
Yeah.
not really a thing.
Yeah, and I mean, they could go on to be commentators, but they're wrong so much. I mean, Chase and McCoy do better than, I forget the name. The one guy's just, I'm just like, dude, your takes are horrible. But it's just, I don't understand. I was the same thing in esports when I was, covering that. I just don't understand the mentality of people thinking that if you played the game, you're going to understand it better. I just don't see that at all. Like,
yeah, I don't see that either. I think
people have gifts.
It's
and you have to
easier.
spread those gifts out.
It's probably
if you've got
easier.
a lot of brawn, the chances of you having a lot of brains is very
Lower.
slim. It's a lot lower. So everybody has their strengths and weaknesses.
I think it's an easier thing for them
So-
to do. But for somebody like you and I mean, we had to play a lot of Madden. We had to study a lot. We've watched thousands of games, and that's something they don't have to do
Listened
because
to-
they played, right? And
Yeah,
so it's
true.
It's probably easier for them, but that
True.
doesn't.
But I mean, there
you don't
are
wanna-
a
you
lot of
can't
smart
downplay
people. These guys
our
are.
experiences either.
Yeah, these guys on that show are smart. They're not the type that I'm talking about that
Yeah.
couldn't do it. But I don't like the way that they tote that, because a lot of people play in the NFL and most never make it afterwards in any sort of broadcasting or show. So to tote that as your show mantra just upsets me. And then I think about Bill Belichick. You ever see Bill Belichick in a football uniform? No. So I'm just saying, just
I
a
have seen Andy
student
Reid.
is Monte Cristo.
Count
Okay,
of
not
Monte
the real Count of Monte Cristo, but Monte Cristo. He's an esports coverage guy
Oh, okay.
that I knew when I did the esports stuff. He was really famous for League of Legends, but he was doing Overwatch coverage, and I was talking to him, and he goes, "Yeah, it cracks me up that everybody thinks players know more, but players practice constantly, whereas I watch VODs constantly, the same amount of time that they play. Therefore, I'm actually taking in way more and everybody's play rather than them just taking in their
Yeah.
one role." Because like an offensive lineman, it's crazy because Kelsey and Travis and Jason will talk back and forth, and it's amazing how much each of them don't know about what the other position stuff does, and they teach each other it back and forth. It's really interesting, but like they don't know a ton about what the other positions do because they're studying their niche inside of there. So
Makes sense.
yeah, so it's interesting. But we went off on a tangent. We are a little bit over. We're gonna need to end the podcast for today. You guys that hung out, watched us live, I'd love some more chatters. We might have to start doing some stuff to get some chats going, man. Sometimes the chat's going and sometimes it's not, but we're still new, we're still growing, and we really appreciate you guys showing up. Just a reminder, this is the second time we've done it, but we stream live on YouTube, live on Twix,
Yeah, Twix and Facebook.
X, and Facebook. And I think we might start streaming live on TikTok too. I'm not sure. TikTok too. I'm not sure, but either way, we're streaming the show live on all these different platforms and trying to help you guys stay on the platform that you like rather than having to everybody go to YouTube and just advertising on the other side. So it's been a lot of work to figure all this out, and I'm sure there's still a lot of kinks, but we appreciate you guys, helping us out, supporting us, and we are growing, and it's exciting, and I want to make this bigger and better, and leave comments, tell us how we're doing, give constructive criticism, have a, give your point, give your debate in the comments and the Facebook stuff. We want to hear from you. We don't think that we know everything, and sometimes with each other we'll be joking, but we really don't think we know everything and want to continue to learn. There's a lot that we need to learn, so help us out with that. And the best way to help us out, share this out on Facebook, share it out on X, share it out on YouTube, subscribe, leave comments. These are the ways to help us. You can also find all of our stuff at buckandbob.com. That's BUKNBOB.com. Everything's there, all of our links. And Buck, where can we find you?
You can find me, as always, on Facebook, but also on the Twix. It's at Buck_tastic. That's BUK_TASTIK.
And you can find me on Twix, which I feel like people are always like, Twix? But it's X and Twitter. It's Twix.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. We're driving this train, buddy.
You can find me there at Blazin_Bob. That's BLAZZIN_BOB. Thank you guys so much. We're going to get out of here. Good night, and we'll see you.
How about those?
Cheese.